What's up, YouTube? I'm Z, and this channel shows you the world through my lens. Um, so I just did Anaconda. Let's move on from that one. I think it was just a lighthearted, fun one. Like, it is what it is. But we're going to do Bed of Lies now. Oh, interesting. I just pulled up the lyrics, and it says Skylar Grey is on this song. Okay. I like Skylar Grey. I first got introduced to Skylar Grey. Oh, which one did I hear first? Was it the song she did with Lupe or the song she did with Eminem and Dr. Dre? No, it was on Lupe's Lasers album. She did a hook for, maybe it was Words I Never Said. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go back and check, but I think it was on a Lupe song. Anyways, I'm a fan of her. Like, I've heard her on choruses now a few times. I like how she sounds. So we're gonna check this out. I think this is gonna be more along the lines of a track that I'm gonna really like. So far, I think my favorites have to be still Grand Piano. Like, to me, like, I was driving the other day and I put it on, and it's just like, it's so good. You know what? I'm going to take an extra second. I already told you guys about the message I got from my dad about that song. I'll share another message. I got a message from my friend. He goes, he messages me. He's like, yo, Z. And I'm like, hey, what's up? He goes, there's no way that's her singing. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I just watched your Nicki Minaj reaction. He was talking about Grand Piano. And I'm like, no. I'm like, it's her. He's like, no, you don't understand me. There's no way that's her singing. I'm like, dude, it's her. And then he said something along the lines of, if that's actually her, I need to check out more of her discography, and I was wrong about her. Like, something to that effect, right? So that's cool, right? That's kind of the whole purpose of this channel. It's for me to discover music that I skipped over and I didn't listen to. And it's kind of having that bleed over effect. Like, other people are listening to music now that they didn't listen to, and they're realizing that they were missing out. So here we go. We're going to check out Bed of Lies. But yeah, my favorite right now is Grand Piano. I really liked Win Again. I think those are my two favorite right now. Let's see what this one's like. I have to say, though, like, I Lied was just really, really beautiful as well. So it's hard for me to not have that up there. Yeah.
Do you ever think of me when you lie? Lie down in your bed of lies. And I knew better than to look in your eyes. They only pretend you would be mine. And oh, how you made me believe. You had me caught in every web that you weave.
So this sounds great, but I want to point out this build-up that's happening in the back. It's not going unnoticed. Let's pull it back just a touch.
You had me caught in every web that you weave. But do you ever think of me when you lie? Lie down in your bed of lies.
You could never make eye contact. Everything you got was based off of my contacts. You a fraud, but I'ma remain icon stat. Balenciaga's on my boots with a python strap. You was caught up in the rush and you was caught up in the thrill of it. You was with me way before I hit the $250,000 in it. Put you in the crib and you ain't never pay a bill in it. I was killing it, now you got me popping pills in it. I told baby hit you, I said this nigga bugging. Cause I was doing it for us, I told him fuck the public. Couldn't believe that I was home alone, contemplating overdosing. No more coasting, no more toasting over ocean.
Oh, the rhyme scheme at the end. The rhyme scheme at the end was dope. We got some serious content here. She's clearly talking about somebody that she was with before she kind of blew up, and then she's talking about blowing up and how, you know, this guy was basically living off of her. At the beginning, you could never make eye contact. Everything you got was based off of my contacts. You're a fraud. I remain icon stat. That was dope. I couldn't believe I was home alone. Contemplating. This part right here at the end. Contemplating overdosing. No more coasting. No more toasting over oceans. Whoa.
Hit you. I said this nigga bugging, cause I was doing it for us. I told him fuck the public. Couldn't believe that I was home alone, contemplating overdosing. No more coasting, no more toasting over ocean. They say you don't know what you got till it's gone. They say that your darkest hour come before your dawn. But there was something that I should've asked all along. I'ma ask on the song.
Do you ever think of me when you lie?
That was dope. That was dope.
Lie down in your bed.
That was a nice lead into the chorus. I just want to point out that end part of her verse again, not just the content. Like, obviously this is coming. She's talking about being in a pretty dark place, but just skill wise, what she did there, maintaining flow while hitting a 4-syllable rhyme scheme, much harder than people give credit for, right? Like, that's not easy to do. Very impressive.
Your bed of lies, and I knew better than to look in your eyes. They only pretend you would be mine. And oh, how you made me believe. You had me caught in every web that you weave. But do you ever?
And that goes really well with what Nicki said early in her verse, where she says, everything you got was based off of my contacts. So, like, she kind of helped him get on whatever it is that he was working on. And then very next line, she had said he was a fraud, right? And then in this chorus, she says, you had me caught in every web that you weaved. So it wasn't even, like, that works two ways, right? It's like her falling for his lies about every time he lies, but now he has these connections with these different people that she connected him to, and by him continuing to be a fraud, because she's clearly saying that's what he's like, it's implicating her in those lies with these other people as well, right? So to me, now that I hear the chorus again after that first part, it brings more meaning to the chorus. That was dope.
Do you ever think of me when you lie? Lie down in your bed of lies.
I just figured if you saw me, if you looked in my eyes, you remember our connection and be freed from the lies. I just figured I was something that you couldn't replace, but there was just a blank stare and I couldn't relate. I just couldn't understand and I couldn't defend what we had, what we shared, and I couldn't pretend. When the tears rolled down, it's like you ain't even noticed them. If you had a heart, I was hoping that you would show us some. What the fuck you really telling me? What you telling me? I could tell you lying. Get the fuck out, don't yell at me. I ain't mean to cut you, I ain't one to catch a felony. This ain't how to be a player, you ain't Bill Bellamy. They say
Bill
you
Bellamy
don't know
reference?
what you got till it's gone. They say that your darkest hour come before your dawn. But there was something that I should've asked all along. I'ma ask on the
So
song.
she know I've been in that bed before.
Oh.
1,000 count and not a single thread of truth.
Ooh,
If
that
I was just
that part gave me goosebumps. 1,000 count and not a single thread of truth. That's dope. That's a dope play on thread count on sheets. Wow.
and not a single thread of truth. If I was just another girl, then I'm ashamed to say that I'm not over you. There's one thing I need to know, so call me when you're not so busy, just thinking of yourself. Do you ever think of me when you lie down in your bed of lies? And I knew better than to look in your eyes. They only pretend you would be mine. And oh, how you made me believe. You had me caught in every web that
Wow. Yeah, that's a strong track. That's a strong track. The addition of listening to this track, just again, like with some of the other themes that have already occurred on this album, and I'm sure I'll probably see some more once I think I have a few more songs that seem like they'll probably be on more of this wavelength. Like there's a strong theme in this album of like, pulling back the curtain and kind of showing a lot more of who she is, and not just the good parts, right? The struggles. So when you talk about this, like very clearly, this is not a good relationship, and we saw that in Grand Piano, her being played like the piano. We heard that in I Lied. I heard a little bit of that in Crying Game when I did the Pink Print movie. So we're seeing a lot of that, a lot of that theme, All Things Go, as well. But I can imagine how many people would listen to these songs. Hopefully they've listened to these songs and connect to it in such a strong way, because she's not alone in that. She's not alone in someone being in a relationship that isn't good for them, and they may even know that it's not good for them. But right there in the bridge, Skylar Grey was singing, and she said, "I'm ashamed to say that I'm not over you. Call me when you're not busy," like the second last line. It's so difficult. It's so difficult. It's easy to say from the outside when you're not the person involved and you can see that someone you care about or someone you know is in a bad relationship. But when you're the person in it, it's really hard to break out of that cycle. Just remember, I said this when I did the Grand Piano reaction, I think, or maybe it was one of the other ones, whichever one it was, but I'm going to say it again. Everybody deserves better, right? So if you feel you're in a situation where you're being mistreated, don't make excuses for that person, right? You deserve better. And if you're not being treated the way that you deserve, ask yourself some hard questions, all right? Okay, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for recommending that. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.